Hi class, this is module 1A, rules of exponents. I want to remind you the rules of exponents. I'm not too worried about the names, but number 1 is product rules, 2 is quotient rule, 3 is power, and number 4 is negative power. As long as you memorize the rules, you're good. So you see, for example, a to the n power times a to the n power, you add the exponents. If you want to divide and they have the same base, you subtract the exponent. If you want to take it to the power of power, you multiply the exponents. And for the rules of exponent, we are not allowed to have negative. So you always have to make it positive by taking the reciprocal. All right, moving on to our example, number 3 on the worksheet. We need to simplify. 12x to the 8 power, y to the negative 4, z to the 9, over 6x to the negative 3rd power, z to the negative 6th power. I always taken care of the number first, so 12 divided by 6 is 2. All right, as you can see, we have quotient. So I'm going to take off the exponents and I subtract. Be careful when you subtract the integer numbers. So for example, I'm going to write down everything for you for x. So for x, we have 8 minus negative 3. For y, we have nothing to change for y. And then for z, we have 9 minus negative 6. So now when we simplify it, we have 2x to the 11, y to the negative 4, and z to the 15. Now I'm going to take care of the negative power. So the final answer is 2x to the 11, z to the 15, over y to the 4th. So that's number 3. For number 6, same thing, we have to simplify. And I have 5x to the negative 1st power, y to the negative 3rd power, z to the negative 5th power, over 10, x to the negative 6th power, y to the negative 7, and z. And everything goes to the negative 1st power. All right, I want to point out something. Every time you take care of the rules of exponents, make sure you do one rule at a time. So for example, let's say if I want to take care of the inside, I'm not doing anything with that negative 1 right here. Or if you want to take care of this negative 1, and then you flip everything inside, of the number, of the sign for the numbers stay the same. All right, so it's really up to you. Okay, how about I take care of that negative 1 first? So if I take care of that negative 1, that means I get rid of the parenthesis and flip everything. So we have 10x to the negative 6th power, y to the negative 7, z, over 5, x to the negative 1st power, y to the negative 3rd power, z to the negative 5th power. All right, so once again, simplify. We have 10 and 5, so that's 2. For x, what do we have for x? So x, I have negative 6 minus negative 1. So that's negative 6 plus 1, which is negative 5. For y, we have negative 7 minus negative 3. So that's negative 7 plus 3, which is negative 4. And then for z, I have 1 minus negative 5. So that's 1 plus 5, which is 6. Therefore, we're going to have to put x and y on the bottom. So the final answer is going to be 2z to the 6th power over x to the 5th power, y to the 4th power. Moving on to number 7. So we have, once again, we have simplify. So I have x to the negative 1st power, u to the 2nd power over 2z squared, everything to the negative 3rd power, and then multiply by xz cubed. All right, so for this one, you have to take care of the 1st power right here. So we have to simplify this one, and then you can multiply this one. All right, so you can look inside, and when we have nothing to do inside, because we have x, u, and z, right? So now we're going to take care of that negative 3 outside, so I'm going to multiply. So x negative 1 times negative 3 is 3. U 2 times negative 3 is negative 6 power. And then we have 2 to the negative 3rd power and z to the negative 6 power. Okay, now you multiply by xz cubed. Now I can apply quotient and products rule. So for x, we have x cubed and x right there. So we have x 3 plus 1, that's 4. For u, I don't have anything. So I'm just going to keep it u to the negative 6 power for z, because one's on top, one's on the bottom. Therefore, we have quotient. So it's 3 minus negative 6, which is positive 9. Now, for the number, you see, because we have a negative 3, so we're going to have to move it to the top. So what I have is 2 cubed, which is 8, x to the 4th power, z to the 9th power, over u to the 6th power. And that's the final answer.